The primary goal of social media is to unite people. Before sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok, if people didn't have each other's numbers, addresses, contact information, they probably lost touch and never had that chance to connect. Social media has now brought people together and expanded past those initial family and friends. They've connected people from all around the world to share in humor, campaigns, and even resources. INGOs have utilized this to connect themselves to audiences they would have never been able to access before. Depending on what the organization is advertising or campaigning for, they need to analyze which social media site would be the most effective. If they want to use a metaphor or an image, a site like Instagram might be the most effective because a photo is the first thing that the audience would see to draw them in. If they want to create a spark, something like Twitter might be most effective, where retweets and shares are very easily accessible. TikTok is used for content creation and is an easy way for people to build up followers depending on their algorithm that the company could play into. And finally, Facebook. Facebook is the largest social media and the most popular worldwide by far. It has started to become more popular among the older generation as younger generations have moved on to more sites like Instagram and TikTok. However, it is still the most utilized around the world with the most users. It can be a place for organizations to put all of their information in one collective place, secondary to their website. It can hold events, photos, videos, timelines, campaigns, and resources and contact information as well. When one speaks out about their issue on social media, it can motivate and strengthen others to do the same. We saw this in the Me Too movement. In 2006, Tarana Burke created the hashtag, but it wasn't until Alyssa Milano tweeted about it that it gained momentum. For INGOs like Equality Now, they can use this momentum to bring up topics like sexual violence in the workplace, which many women and men have experienced. This is a social cause that can change behaviors. In an article from 2018 by NPR, the survey was conducted by the nonprofit Stop Street Harassment. It found that 81% of women experienced unwanted sexual harassment in their lifetime. When looking further into the statistics, 77% of women reported a verbal harassment and 51% reported unwanted sexual touching. This is an issue not only confined to women, but there's also the stigma around men experiencing sexual harassment, in which they reported 43% of men had experienced some form. If these topics are openly talked about in the workplace, it can make them less taboo. This is also reliant on those going through the trainings to make sure that they feel like they are taking it seriously and not treating it as a joke or like they are forced to be there. More and more men are sharing their stories on social media about how they became that confidant for women and they realized how widespread this issue is. Connecting with men on this level is going to be one of the key to creating change in the workplace environments, as men trust each other more and they respect each other more than women. I also believe that the younger generations are going to be a big factor in changing these different stigmas and situations in the workplace. These younger generations are becoming more openly spoken and are more comfortable with sharing these type of topics, whereas the older generations have put a stop to it. When people talk about these issues on sites like TikTok and Instagram, they can call each other out, hold each other accountable, and have real life consequences. This is why I believe Equality Now should start a campaign on TikTok. They can gather stories, people's personal accounts, and different viewpoints on sexual violence in the workplace. Having this collective information, they can broaden their horizons and take their campaign to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter to garner more support and different audiences. The more people join in on this movement, the more the topic will become less taboo and they can change the behaviors around them, because changing the behaviors is the first step, and social media can be that difference.